Hey guys, this is Mayan Gordon. I'm back and I wanted to hop on for two reasons today. One was to just share with you guys some really phenomenal energy that I'm feeling today around how grateful I am, how excited I am, and all of the amazing things that are just happening in the world. Yes, amazing things that are happening for me, but really just great things that are happening in general. I know that COVID can get kind of upsetting, kind of depressing at times when you look at places like here in Spokane where they just peeled back or rolled back restrictions again in terms of restaurants having to be closed and thinking about the economic situation that a lot of people are in. People who've spent their whole lives building businesses and now might have to close those businesses or are being put in a really difficult financial position. Yet there are also so many wonderful things happening. And we each have a choice to focus on the bad things or to focus on the good things. And it really doesn't matter what situation that we're in. Where focus goes, energy flows, as they say. I did not come up with that saying. It's certainly a great one. And when you focus on really positive things that you're grateful for, things that are potential opportunities, that are new opportunities, maybe that came out of a bad situation, your energy goes towards a place of positivity and taking positive action instead of a place of dwelling, of even taking negative action that just further puts you in a worse situation. And so I just wanted to share this incredible feeling that I have today with you guys. And hopefully it can transfer somewhat through the screen and give you guys a little bit of that excitement, that hope, that good feeling that something really wonderful is going to happen to you watching this right now really soon. You're not going to have to wait years and years for something great in your life to happen. It could happen tomorrow. As long as today you are putting that energy and that focus towards something positive and then taking an action that takes you in that positive direction and towards that positive place. Now, I also wanted to come on and just share some really great news around things that are happening with me personally and things that are happening within my company. So the first thing that I'm really excited to share with you guys is around the World of Glass Experience, which is a 24-hour live glass blowing charity marathon that I am doing and hosting on December 5th. That is in 10 days, you guys. I'm so excited for this because you know what? When I decided that I was actually going to do this fundraiser, I had very little belief in it going well. I committed to it. I said, you know what? No one who does something for the first time is very good at it traditionally, unless you have like a phenomenal level of talent, right? Most of us, when we first do something, are so, maybe bad at it, not maybe a little bit okay. But I know that the more you do something, that fundraising and running a fundraising event is a skill just like anything else, just like learning a new language, just like playing the guitar. And if I got started this year, that I would get better at it and better at it. So I made the commitment. I had this great idea around a glass blowing marathon. I finally had an amazing platform, TikTok, to do it through, where I have a huge audience of more than 2 million followers. I said, you know what? This is going to happen. I'm going to learn a lot along the way. And no matter what happens with this first event, I'm going to make it an annual event. I am making a lifelong commitment to fundraising and to philanthropy and to generosity. And if each year it builds a little bit more and a little bit more, even if it's the last year of my life, and in that year, that's when I have a massive success around the fundraiser, like I'm okay with that. So actually, some great things have been happening. Not only have we had some really amazing sponsors come through, which I'm going to shout out real quick. We have Driven Outcomes with April Sprints. Oh man, April, your name is hard for me to say, so I apologize if I just butchered the last name there. We have Synergy Tubing, who actually sent us a bunch of glass colors that we're going to be using in the event. We've got the Safety Justice League, who they actually have their own kind of charity initiative where all of the merchandise from their company, they feed directly into different charities. And then we have Champion Empire, which is my business, along with Jesse Johnson, who's the co-founder and co-owner of that business. We're also very excited to be sponsors. And then we even have some people who donated on the sponsorship level who didn't want shout outs, who didn't necessarily want to be mentioned, out of sheer generosity and them wanting to give. What's up, Kizzy? I want to give a shout out to Kizzy, who is not only is Kizzy incredibly talented, incredibly smart, PhD level smart, as you can see in her actual name here on LinkedIn. But Kizzy's one of those people who has just amazing energy. You guys know what I'm talking about. When you meet someone and you're like, I need more of that person in my life because it was fun talking with them. I feel better after the conversation than before the conversation. So huge shout out to Kizzy. Robert Hamilton, what's good? Another phenomenal human being. Like, you guys, I'm just so blessed to know these people, to know you guys watching this right now. Like, I really can't express in words how much you guys have changed my life. How a lot of this energy that hopefully you guys are feeling through this screen comes so directly from you guys, from the gratitude and the appreciation that I have to be surrounded by amazing people that I dreamed up until this year, dreamed my whole life that I would maybe get the chance to speak to, let alone form real relationships and friendships around, and to see how much my life has changed due to you guys and the amount of knowledge that I've been able to absorb just through conversations, the amount of integrity, of generosity, of qualities that I am looking to have more of in myself, that I have gained more of just by simply being around you guys who exhibit it to a much higher level than I really see myself exhibiting it, and seeing myself become a better person and become more of that person that I'm trying to become just by surrounding myself with you guys. So huge shout out to everyone watching this and everyone who has had a conversation, who's taken the time to talk to me, taken the time to watch my videos, read my content. Like, you guys have such a huge impact on me, and not only where I'm at in my life, but the level of fulfillment and happiness that I wake up with and feel every single day. And I cannot thank you enough with words with that. So I'm excited to hopefully repay what you guys have done for me through creating value in all ways that I possibly can think of, whether that's sharing something I learned today, or whether that's being able to encourage you and motivate you to accomplish the dreams that you've set for yourself and the goals that you're chasing after. Tammy, what's up? Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Here's some an insight that I'd love to share with you guys just on a branding, marketing, opportunity growth level. So my LinkedIn Live videos on a numerical metric basis do not perform that great. They don't perform terrible. They generally get between 500 and 1,000 views in the course of 24 to 48 hours. So for me, that's a medium post. A good post for me does above 10,000 views. A medium, like a real medium post, is probably going to be 3 to 5,000, 3 to 6,000 views. And 1,000, I would actually put on the low end of the number of views that I'm going to get on a post. So if you just look at the metrics, you'd think, why do I do LinkedIn Lives outside of I love delivering value. I love talking with you guys. Maybe I like listening to myself talk a little bit too, not going to lie. But really, it's because I get consistent and constant feedback from people, either when I'm meeting them or directly after a live stream, where people go, hey, I watch your lives. Not I just watched your one live, but hey, I consistently see you pop up on live and I watch you and you're delivering value to me. And that comes in different ways of, I enjoy seeing you speak about this. I learned something from you in this episode. And to me, the quality of the views is so much more important than the number of views, you guys. So many people are getting caught up in needing to get 10,000 followers and needing to get 10,000 views on a video. If you had 100 views or 100 followers and they were all super quality, if all 100 of those people were clients of yours, I can promise you'd be set financially for life. Like, who watching this has 100 customers that are good regular customers? I don't. I'm betting that you watching this, you don't. If you do, first of all, awesome. You maybe have a product-based business. I think it's a lot easier to have 100 customers on a wholesale B2B product business than it is on a service level business. So obviously there's lots of caveats, nuances, and differentiations. But the concept around, if you had 100 people supporting you on a regular basis, that your life would be just fine, is really a fact. And I think we focus way too much on getting this big number to satisfy a really quick endorphin rush that we're trying to get, versus understanding the concept of value and relationships. You guys, a relationship that brings you value outside of maybe a monetary sense is always going to be more valuable than someone who's bringing you money, but you have no real relationship around. That at least is my belief and my ethos. I am not saying that you have to agree with me. You could have completely different opinions. In fact, that's awesome. I don't want everyone to agree with me. I love the diversity of thought and opinions that all of us get to have, because then I get to have a conversation with you and really think about my perspective and think and analyze it and reflect on it and think, is this really what I believe? What is there validity in someone else's perspective and viewpoint? And do I want to adopt any of what they just talked about and why they think this way when I think a completely different way? So that to lead into, I digress, but I do think that having conversations with people who think very, very differently or opposingly to you can bring you a lot of value, not only in terms of the knowledge and information, but boy, is it a great skill to be able to talk to someone who is telling you that you're wrong and they disagree, and for you not to get emotionally upset. I think for a lot of people, that is very difficult. I think if you look at Twitter, you can see for most people on Twitter, it's impossible. When someone says something contrary to what they think or believe, they get so angry and upset. And let's be honest, guys, when you get upset, the only one you're hurting is yourself. It is not fun to be upset. If you had the choice on any given day, at any given moment, do I want to be happy or do I want to be upset? Like, who in their right mind is going to pick, I want to be upset? No one. It's not fun. It doesn't feel good. So it's good to remember, if you're getting upset in conversations, you probably have a skill that you might want to work on, because the less amount of time you can spend in your life being upset, the better a life you're going to lead, the more positive actions that you're probably going to take as well. All right, now let's get back to awesome things that are happening in the life of Maayan. So another awesome thing that I'm really excited about is I went locally to a podcast studio that has an awesome business model. You guys, if you're in Spokane or Coeur d'Alene, get in touch with me. I just connected up with a podcast company that is offering completely free podcast recordings in their professional. You got to use their professional studio, their professional equipment. They have someone there who will help you in any areas you don't understand around podcasting. And in fact, not only is it free, but after you record 5 episodes, they start paying you. Now you might be thinking, what's the catch? How is that even possible? Well, it's based on an advertising model. They basically are owning your content. In fact, all they do is own content. And they give, it doesn't mean you don't get to use your content. In fact, after you record the episode, they do all of the editing. They do the professional editing, and then they give you the content professionally done, finished, ready to go to promote and post on your social media profiles, on your website, wherever you want to distribute it. You can do that. You still get all of the benefit from the promotion of the podcast, but they're using your podcast for ad spots. Every podcast has 5 different ad spots. You get to pick what verticals you're going to be advertising in, and they hand you a script to read during those very short advertising spots in each episode. I think that's a really awesome exchange, especially for any businesses that have $0 in marketing budget. This is the only real way, outside of you spending a lot of time on social media and a lot of time networking, for you to get free marketing that actually pays you and allows you to do other forms of paid marketing. And you get the highest quality finished product for your own marketing and content marketing that you could possibly get. So if you're interested in that, get in touch with me. But I'm just really excited by this business model because it is severely going to help out a huge number of local businesses here in Spokane. And I'm really passionate about our local community. Like, I love the LinkedIn community. You guys have changed my life, but I'm also equally passionate about like the city that I chose to build my life in. Like, before we moved to Spokane, we drove all over Washington State, all over the west side of Oregon, because east side is just forest. There's nothing there, you guys, don't worry. And then into California, and we looked and stopped at all these cities and spent a week or more in each city and thought, is this the place where we want to live, buy a house, have kids, and build a life? And when we came to Spokane, it was such a quick, oh my God, this is the place for us. because of the people here, the community, the level of caring about the community is really at a very high point in terms of any cities that I've ever been to. Maybe outside of Israel. Israel might beat Spokane in terms of that community feel. But also maybe that's because I'm Jewish and I just have a special connection with Israel. Who knows? Outside of that, here in the United States, Spokane is this really special place that I love and cherish. The people that make up this city and this community. And so I'm just so excited that there's this business model that can support people who need the most help, which are people who don't have marketing budgets because their business is struggling, because they closed down because of COVID. For all these different reasons, this is a way they can really build and gain traction that could potentially save their entire business. So feel free to get in touch with me. Again, I love just even talking about this. I can get you guys the link to sign up on their website. They are expanding into other cities, and they're trying to grow pretty rapidly. But they're another startup. They just started up this whole business concept in the last 3 months as some different parties came together and had conversations and came up with this amazing business model. So that's something I'm really excited about. Another thing I'm really excited about is just our team at Champion Empire. I'm a co-founder and co-owner along with Jesse Johnson, who's the other co-owner and co-founder. And then we have an amazing director of business development. His name is Toby Bremling. I always mess up his last name, Bremling. We have an amazing HR professional. Her name is Carrie Maldonado. And then we have 2 incredible virtual assistants who really are more, again, team members. Like, yes, they're virtual assistants, but I think there's so much more than that. And they've really developed into crucial parts of our business, not only on the execution side, but in terms of contributing ideas and contributing values and contributing in general. And so all of us have just been working together, especially in the past week, in such a cohesive, phenomenal, in the zone, in the flow way that it's hard not to get excited and feel the energy around that. I'm also phenomenally excited because, you guys, I finished my full sleeve tattoo. It's still healing a little right here. I got some scabbing going on, but the full sleeve is done. I feel like a complete me. This whole process of getting this full sleeve tattoo, I started it in July, and I've been getting 3 to 5 hour tattoo sessions once every 2 weeks. So it's been an incredible amount of work, an incredible amount of pain. But really, I've become way stronger mentally through the process. I really love the artwork that is on my arm. I love the artist who put the artwork on my arm. We have a great friendship now. He's an amazing guy, Nate Davenport, if you're ever looking for a phenomenal tattoo. And I'm just also really grateful to have the ability to be able to spend the amount of money that it took to get this tattoo. I'm not someone who gets cheap tattoos. I kind of find the best artist that I can possibly find. I figure out what it's going to cost, and I go all in on the tattoo. And I'm just really have been, since it's finished, been thinking about like, wow, how many people get to spend that much money on a tattoo? How many people get to take the time out of their day? Like, that's a significant amount of time to put into a tattoo. If you think about, let's say, average of 4 hours per session between the 3 hours and the 5 hour sessions. Let's see, July to now, that's like 6 months, 2 times per month. So that's like 12 sessions times 4 hours. That's, 50 hours of work into this tattoo that I got to take out in the middle of the day. I didn't have to do it on my weekends. It was in the middle of the work week. On Tuesdays is when they were scheduled. And I'm just really grateful for all of these opportunities that I have in my life and all of these wonderful things that I get to decide and that also just end up coming my way based on where my energy and my thoughts are focused. So I hope that if you were watching this, any part of it, that you got encouraged for all the good things that hopefully are already happening in your life, that you can just look at and be grateful and take some time, especially as hopefully you have a day off tomorrow or a day off on Thursday for Thanksgiving, to really reflect and think about all the things that you have that so many other people don't have. And think about how you would feel if you didn't have those things. How much, I'm not going to say worse off your life would be, but how much less full your life might be if you didn't have some of the things that are currently in it. and let that fill you up entirely. Let that make you feel like your life is the best it possibly could be at this one moment right now. And kind of separate yourself from thinking about what it could be in the future. Just look at it right now and think about how amazing it truly is. Because if you're watching this and you're seeing any part of this, that means you have either a cell phone with video and internet capabilities, or you have a laptop or a desktop. And that in it of itself is a huge blessing, because there are billions of people around the world who either cannot afford a phone or a laptop, or don't have access to internet, or don't have access to so many things that we take for granted in our day-to-day lives. And when you start really taking the time to be grateful for those things that might have become mundane through a lot of exposure, like anything that we do repetitively, we lose that perspective on. And if you can take time to regain that perspective, it can have a massive impact in your internal happiness, your fulfillment levels, and where you're able to put in and gear your focus towards. So I hope this brought you guys some value tonight. If it did, please feel free to tag someone in the comments, grab the link, share it to your social media profiles. What's up, Jeremy? Thank you. You miss Spokane? Absolutely. Spokane's an amazing place. Anyone watching this, you guys are welcome. Come over to Spokane. We've got an extra bed that we can set up. We've got a great house you can stay in. You're welcome over. I'd love to have you, even during the COVID times. I am not nervous or afraid of COVID at all. Either I'm going to get it or I'm not going to get it. Personally, I think I'm not going to get it because I have like special theories around why I don't think I'm going to get COVID. One is I've got 4 dogs and I'm just, I think, exposed to so much dirty things and weird stuff that my immune system is a little bit more capable than most. Also, I think that fear has a really significant role to play in whether or not you get viruses. And I think there's starting to be some research around that, that if you are fearful of getting viruses, it dampens your immune system and makes you more susceptible to them. Again, I'm not the one conducting that research. Go look it up for yourself and make your own kind of determinations. But you guys are welcome over anytime. I love meeting you guys in person. I love connecting with you over Zoom. And to wrap it up, I hope you guys have an amazing, amazing Wednesday, Thanksgiving, and the rest of your week. I'll try and pop in here before Saturday, get to see you guys, interact with you guys some more. But I wish nothing but the best for you. And don't forget to mark your calendar for December 5th, because that's when the World of Glass 24-hour live glass blowing marathon is happening on TikTok. If you have any questions about that, want to support it in any way, please reach out to me or leave a comment on this video, and I will be checking it over the next 24 hours to make sure that I'm not missing anything. Thanks.